East Coast.
I'm Jim Crisula on the mid-coast of Maine. Weather forecasters continue to say Hurricane Erin won't make a direct hit on the U.S. mainland this week. Regardless, rough surf advisories are posted from central Florida to the Maine-Canada border. A mandatory evacuation order is in effect for Hatteras Island on North Carolina's famed Outer Banks.
MSNBC is changing its name and losing the peacock logo. The new name, MS Now, short for My Source News Opinion World. The switch-up is expected to be complete by the end of the year ahead of its spin-off from NBC Universal. CNBC, USA, Oxygen, and E will also be rebranded. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Making an Impact, sponsored by Grainger. Vincent Panizzo was a grad student working on his PhD, but then he felt compelled to help those in need, and that's when he created Mission for the Homeless.
I have to make sure that they're okay. I have to sort of triage and see if they do they have any infections? Do they need to go to the hospital? Do they need to be taken off the streets immediately?
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by.
Tire World in Murfreesboro, Smyrna, and Laverne is holding their All Tires at Cost sale.
For 75 years, Murfreesboro Medical Clinic has been a cornerstone of health and compassion in our community. From our humble beginnings to the advanced, comprehensive care we offer today, our commitment to you has never wavered. With 8 locations across Murfreesboro and Middle Tennessee and over 100 physicians, we continue to provide the highest standard of care. Then, now, and always, your health is our mission.
9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
Welcome into WGNS, the Roundtable. I'm Andy Herzer, founder and executive director of First Shot, a friend of mine again, and it's always through First Shot, it seems, that I get to meet some really good people. And forever, I did not know what he did. He showed up with his son, and I forced him into volunteering, I think would be the way. Wouldn't you say I forced you, Ramel?
I would say so.
And we have formed a friendship from that, and I've enjoyed having Nate in First Shot, still do, and again, welcome into the show.
Thank you. Appreciate you for allowing me to be here this morning.
Well, you're District 19 representative of our commissioners, but we're not going to talk about that exclusively. I want to get into, first of all, you're born and raised in Lebanon?
Yes, sir.
So what high school over there did you go to?
Attended Lebanon High School.
So you're a Blue Devil.
Blue Devil, yep. Best
Blue
school
Devil,
in Wilson County.
True.
That's right.
Never changes. It's amazing.
That's right.
So talk about your job, and
okay.
I find it to be fascinating what people do, and you work
in healthcare.
To explain the company that you work for and what the objective of that company is.
Yeah. So I work for a healthcare company. It's been different companies. It was Optum, Change Healthcare, Elevate, all kinds of different companies. But we are a third-party vendor for for Vanderbilt University Medical Center. And so what we do, what my primary job or my office is to assist all of our self-pay unfunded patients that comes through all of our Vanderbilt hospitals. So there's 4 hospitals within the Middle Tennessee area that Vanderbilt owns. Of course, the big one downtown Nashville, the one in Lebanon, and then one in Shelbyville, and then Tullahoma, Bedford County. Yeah.
So when I look at that and say, how do you get that funded?
So it's a different scenarios. So what we do, we initially, you see the patients, you screen the patients, and then you'll see what they may qualify based off of their income, their resources, their medical diagnosis. So that's how we go about doing that. And if they do qualify, some people may qualify for teen care, some may qualify for disability. Those are pretty much, and there's some other programs as well, but those are the main 2 that we screen for and look for.
So give us a percentage of non-funded people in Middle Tennessee. I mean, because I think it's a growing number.
Oh, for sure.
And so medical costs for us, my wife and I, that's our number one thing, is try to stay healthy as we age.
Yes.
And we are aging. Right. So how does one get in contact with you, or does the hospital put them in contact with you?
Yeah, so what we're all, we have on-site individuals. So when they come through the system, some can come through the ER, some can be admitted through maybe surgery or just through the ambulance or whatever, and some gets discharged the same day. But the hospital knows, they'll know who has insurance and who does not have insurance. And so when they put it in as someone who does not have insurance, it puts it in a work queue or whatnot. And so what that does, it alerts us to say, hey, this patient does not have health care. Or sometimes they might have health care insurance. The hospital just hadn't gotten to it yet based off of the circumstance. So if someone is in ICU, for instance, that person may not be able to provide their insurance right then and there. So we still kind of follow up with that individual, but at the end of the day, the hospital lets us know who to see and who not, who we don't have to see.
So how many people are you seeing a day or talking to a day on an average?
Yeah. So each hospital is different based off of the rural areas. Of course, like I said, if you go out to Shelbyville and Tullahoma, all those areas, it's more of a rural area. So your volume is not going to be as high as it is in Wilson County in Lebanon, or especially downtown Nashville, because you're seeing, there's no telling how many people that's coming in. They have 1,600 beds downtown compared to maybe a 100, 200 bed hospital in those 3 areas. I would say that, on average, that comes through the one in Wilson County, probably 30 to 40 people a day.
Wow, that's an awful lot of people.
But that's on a busy day. And it just depends. The weekends can bring in individuals as well. But I would probably say on average, it's probably about 15 to 20. It's still a lot of people.
It's still a lot of people when you start adding it up.
Right, that's a lot of, and majority of them, to be honest, they come through the ER, but it still adds up, because you'll have a few that comes in that's in the ICU. That's where you're going to occur your biggest charges. If someone needs to be admitted to a room for a couple of days, so it just varies. Yeah. So Mondays, you never know what you'll get, to be honest, from the weekend.
That's any Monday, right?
Right.
Things get thrown at you. And how long have you been doing this? And why do you stay with it?
Yeah. So I have been probably at the particular hospital almost 10 years. So I've been through. They've gone through 3 different name changes. It was University Medical Center, and then it was Tenova, and now it's Vanderbilt. So I've been with them for a while. But then I've also have gone through several different companies that Vanderbilt hires out. So it's kind of like I said, a third-party contract. They go off of who they feel best. So I've worked for community health systems that was out there, Change Healthcare. So I've gone through several companies. It's been a challenge, but the main thing is I look at it two ways for me. The main thing is to allow the patients to get the health care that's needed. Let's get them back to where they need to be, and then also let's see if we can find some type of program going forward that will help them out. It's not just for that particular visit, it's going forward. For instance, if a pregnant mother or someone comes in, well, more than likely she's probably going to qualify for TennCare, so we want to make sure that she's taken care of along with the baby, for doctor's visits and things like that going forward. And then also we want to make sure that the hospital's kind of getting paid as well. That way we can try to keep those charges from skyrocketing and to not pass it on to consumers like you and I who has health insurance. But in certain circumstances where some people may not have health insurance, some people just don't care to have it, but someone may have lost a job, but then they're in the process of trying to get it, and Cobra is really expensive.
Oh man, it's outrageous.
It's I for instance, like for me this past summer, I had, I think the month of June, because I went from one company to another company, I had that 30-day window, and so there's like, well, you can buy Cobra. I was like, well, I think I'll pray to the Lord that I'll be fine for the month of June, which I was. Then my insurance kicked in on July the 1st. But everyone has different circumstances and things like that.
I wish we'd come up with a better gap.
Oh yeah.
Insurance way of treating people, because it is. Yeah. You've lost your job. You already have a financial strain, for right? Sure. So here we go. The cycle begins. Yeah. But healthcare is it's a big umbrella. It's a big umbrella. So we're going to shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
I've always found, because my dad was a county commissioner, he was a Republican. I don't know what that means anyways, but I always find it fascinating why someone chooses to be a Democrat or a Republican, and for you, an independent. So what was your thought process coming down? I grew up in a very probably conservative evangelical home, right, so I have a different worldview than other people probably, right, but I always find it fascinating how they choose. Well,
it's a lot of different factors, but for me, I know I ran in 2022. I'm in my first term, representing District 19, and I started actually thinking about it in 2021. I sought advice and counsel from current elected officials and those people in the community that were well respected. I thought about running for city council, but then I said, no, I'll just scale back. Let me just represent my area that I live in, because a lot of times I was always hearing complaints from neighbors and those within my community, and so I felt like I would be the right choice to have that mouthpiece to voice those opinions and things like that. And so I decided to run as independent, because for me, at the end of the day, local politics, that's just me, the roads that we take care of, doesn't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. Our schools, it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. To be honest, every single thing that I've voted on in the county commission has nothing to do whether you're a Republican or Democrat. And so when I ran, my platform was it was people over party, because I wanted the people to hold me accountable and not someone else.
So when you look at your district, what are the concerns for your district that's different than maybe a district in Smyrna or Laverne?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Each district is probably going to be different, uniquely different. I did a polling back early I had a polling done early in the year, because for me, that's me being proactive and trying to know what my constituents like. I don't say constituents, I like to call them neighbors, because this is how I like to, or community. And the top 5 were traffic, the infrastructure, of course, like solid waste in our schools, and then athletic or some type of green spaces and things like that. So those are kind of like the top 5, but traffic and infrastructure, it was at the top of the list.
And that always interests me, because in a county this size, you would think the county has control of a lot of roads.
Right.
But they don't.
Right.
The state has a lot more roads
Correct.
running through Rutherford County than probably our county is in charge of. And then you have the cities that are in charge of it. So it's really broken into.
Yeah.
So when I learned that, so now you have 3 people you have to work with, 3 groups.
Absolutely.
You have to work with the cities, right? You have to work with the counties, and then you have to have the state people on board.
Right. Yeah, it's a
challenge.
It is. Yeah. Of course, our road board, like you said, we're just pretty much responsible for like paving, repaving roads and things like that, and it's thousands of miles of that they do. And our superintendent and road board, they do a great job of keeping those roads paved and things like that. And so,
well, again, I think roads are important, and I think infrastructure is important, but I think we've done a pretty good job within our county.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I've visited other states and other counties or cities within Tennessee, and I think we're blessed to have what we have. You know, sometimes I'll go from one county to another, and you can just tell the difference.
So for me as a citizen, and I live in the Blackman area, all right, traffic isn't my concern, and I'm going to tell you why. If it takes me 30 minutes to get across town, I should leave 45 minutes before I have to be there. That's just my nature and my coaching.
For sure.
All right, so by me being late, that's not something the traffic's fault. That's my fault.
That's on you, yeah.
So I have a different perspective on traffic.
Yeah.
All right. And you kind of know my heart. Mine is really, how are we as a county going to keep up with the schools that we need to build and the skyrocketing costs? Has the commission, do they have a good plan in place to build these schools?
Yes. So that's a good question. Again, when there's 21 commissioners, so when you have 21 individuals, some think that we should not really be building new schools. We should just be working with what we have, and then some think that we should. And I can see both sides. But then at the end of the day, and I serve on the Health and Education Committee for the County Commission, so we worked side by side with our school board all the time. And I think this week the school board is going to present or have a draft of their 5-year plan on schools and things like that. 2 years ago we approved the additions to Smyrna, Riverdale, and Oakland. So Smyrna they completed their renovations almost about 6 months ahead of schedule. Riverdale was yesterday, $56 million addition and remodel to them, and then just waiting on Oakland to do the same.
So when you say those numbers to me, so let's just say $55 million per school, how many more students per school are they going to be able to serve?
Right. It just varies. So at the end of the day, and again, we funded it, but the school board were the ones that they had a list of schools that was top priority on it. And I took upon myself when I got elected to try to visit as many schools as I could to see the conditions of these schools. I saw a lot of portables, and so I know specifically at Riverdale, Smyrna, and Oakland, we're trying to get rid of the portables because it's a safety issue. For one, you want to make sure that all your students are confined in one building. A lot of them were having to go off from outside to go to one annex to the main building and things like that. And that's a logistical nightmare, because now you got to take teachers from the classroom to go and stand out to make sure students are where they're supposed to be. With today's day in crime, you just don't want that. You want to make sure everyone is in the same confined area, and so that's kind of one of the reasons why we approved those additions to those schools. And so now the students hopefully will not be in portables, but with the growth, we're now the fourth largest county in the state of Tennessee. We surpassed Chattanooga, Hamilton County. So with that, you're going to see a lot of growth. And I think now we're approaching 52,000 students within Rutherford County. It seems, I haven't received the numbers yet for the enrollment. I'm pretty sure I'll probably get them this within the next week or so. But over the past few years, we've been growing about almost 1,000 students every year. And so when you do that, you're putting a strain on schools, you're putting a strain on the bus routes. It's a lot to keep up with, but we try to, again, work with our school board as much as possible. There's rezoning options as well. So if you can try to shift and rezone some students, it kind of hopefully will stall from trying to build more additional schools. I will say, with the past 2 years, we haven't had to raise property taxes, so that's a blessing. We just brought in Poplar Hill Elementary School that just opened up this year. It's out on the Beatty property, and then.
Boy, that school went up awful quick.
Yeah, and if you go out there right now, the middle school is going up, which should open up next year. So they're going to have 2 schools right there. So that will hopefully help with some of the Blackman area, because Blackman Middle School is probably the largest middle school in the state, and a lot of people don't realize 1,700 students.
No, it is the largest. Yeah. We can go ahead and say that, that without a doubt. And for 3 grades, you think about that.
Yeah,
that's just way too many.
Absolutely. So
but it's if we have 1,000 students a year coming, in 20 years, you're going to surpass 85,000 students going to school a day.
Yeah.
And the capacity of our schools, it's not there.
It's not there, yeah.
So again, there's no other choice but to build. So how many high schools do you think we going forward and middle schools are we going to have to build to sustain this?
I think that what they're currently looking at now is to maybe build another high school up in the northern part of the county, which they're seeing a lot of growth up there. And so it's all about strategically where you put these schools. You want to make sure that they're going to be in areas where it helps relieve the needs of that area, and also you want to make sure that you're not congesting one area with a bunch of schools, because
of traffic. Again, it goes back to the same,
especially if you look at, for instance, Blackman, you got Blackman Elementary, middle, and high school all in that area, and it's a
they've staggered it pretty well, because my granddaughter went there. I think they've done a fantastic job. We're going to take a break, and be right back.
Alrighty.
For 75 years, Murfreesboro Medical Clinic has been a cornerstone of health and compassion in our community. From our humble beginnings to the advanced, comprehensive care we offer today, our commitment to you has never wavered. With 8 locations across Murfreesboro and Middle Tennessee and over 100 physicians, we continue to provide the highest standard of care. Then, now, and always, your health is our mission.
This is Trevor from Bell Jewelers. We are always looking to purchase pre-owned Rolexes, so bring them by if you're willing to sell. Rolexes through the years have kept their value, so if you purchased a Rolex, 10 years ago, it probably still has the same value. So if you want to cash that in, come here to Bell Jewelers and we will buy it from you. We are always looking to purchase pre-owned Rolexes, so bring them by if you're willing to sell. Come see us at Bell Jewelers, 821 Northwest Broad Street, across from Tubes.
Is your business getting slowed down by constant IT issues? At Syscorp Computer Services, we take the stress out of technology. Our managed IT services include on-site and remote support, managed services, cybersecurity, cloud backups, and more, all tailored to fit your business. Let us handle the tech so you can focus on what matters most. Call Syscorp today for your free consultation at 615-809-3687 or visit our website at sys-corp.net. sys-corp.net.
Alan Butcher.
Well, the thing I like about Adams Place is that when you come here, you're coming to a complete healthcare system. You start off in independent living, and then if you need additional care, you go to assisted living. And we also have a memory unit and a rehab unit.
Hi, this is Terry Deal at Adams Place. Call me for more information about Adams Place. Phone 615-904-9111.
Adams Place on Memorial, across from Walmart.
For 75 years, Murfreesboro Medical Clinic has been a cornerstone of health and compassion in our community. From our humble beginnings to the advanced, comprehensive care we offer today, our commitment to you has never wavered. With 8 locations across Murfreesboro and Middle Tennessee, and over 100 physicians, we continue to provide the highest standard of care. Then, now, and always, your health is our mission.
Good Neighbor Events is brought to you by the law offices of John Day, AmeriCare Pest Control, and Old National Bank.
This is a paid legal ad.
At the law offices of John Day, we take only real cases that make a real difference.
Dear John, I want you to know that I appreciate everything you have done so much. I know you went over and beyond, and that's why I just think the world of you. Thank you. Robert K.
My pleasure, Robert. If you're ever injured, know that we are here for you, too. Call the law offices of John Day for a free consultation. And remember, there's no fee unless we win your case. Seriously injured? Call me, John Day.
Thank you for making WGNS a part of your family for over 78 years. The Red Cross is still critically low on blood. Phone the Red Cross at 800-RED-CROSS and make an appointment to give the gift of life at a time that fits your schedule. The popular Cookin' to Build is just around the corner. It'll be up on the Murfreesboro Square on Saturday, November 1st. But right now, until October 15th, you can paint your Habitat for Humanity Cookin' to Build bowl. Make it a family tradition. Head over to Color Me Mine in the Avenue of Murfreesboro now through October 15th and paint your bowl for Cookin' to Build. You've heard us talking about how Greenhouse Ministries helps so many. Maybe you'd like to be a volunteer at Greenhouse Ministries. There's a volunteer orientation every Thursday morning at 10, and that's at Greenhouse Ministries, 307 South Academy Street, here in Murfreesboro. Thursday mornings at 10. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford weather.
Heat advisory is in effect for the forecast area. We'll see sunny skies here for this afternoon, high in the upper 90s. Tonight, mostly clear, low near 72. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vujicic on News Radio WGNS. Currently, it's 77.
WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. MTE's Drive EV program has resources for members who would like to learn more about all aspects of EVs. MTE is developing programs and educational materials to answer member questions. Learn more at driveev.com.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Welcome back into WGNS and the Roundtable. I'm Andy Herzer, founder and executive director of First Shot. This is my time I get to do my shameless plug. September 24th, Autumn with the Alley, is our end of the year kind of fundraiser to get us through the fiscal year. It's a great event, fun event. The Alley is the main sponsor of it. Great food, great people. We have a great band this year, and looking forward to it. It's $100 a ticket. You can call me at 615-631-5312 to purchase one. I can get you all the information that you need. I'd like to welcome back in my friend Ramel, and you know, we are talking about schools.
Yes, sir.
And this north end of the county has been in dire need of a new one. What area are you thinking about, and what schools are you trying to relieve pressure from?
Yeah. So I would say it's a collaborative effort between the county commission and the school board, but the school board is usually tasked with kind of finding that, but you know, they'll have to bring it to us anyways in regards to funding and stuff. I know they're trying to relieve some of the area of the Stewart's Creek area because it's getting crowded, and then of course Smyrna and Laverne. So I'm not sure where exactly where they want to put one. There's several different options, but I do know that in that northern area, that's where they're looking to try to put a new high school.
Well, again, I think it's always the toughest part of a commissioner's job is to be able to fund the schools properly and make sure that we're making wise decisions with our money. The next part of it, and again, it's been one of those things, I think we've got, without a doubt, Rutherford County, Murfreesboro has really some of the greatest greenways in the country.
Oh, absolutely.
We are I don't know how, you know, my wife has lived here all her life, and we went over and walked Old Fort.
Yeah.
She didn't realize how amazing it really was. First time she'd ever been there. And again, we've got so many good things. How do we continue to thrive with our parks and rec and our greenways in our county?
Yeah. So I know specific for me, now the city of Murfreesboro handles all of our parks and recs. So I always try to give them a shout out in that manner. But I will say that Barfield is phenomenal. Like, you know, sometimes me and my son will go and hike up there, and like you said, there's just hidden greenways that a lot of people don't know about. And once you start walking or riding a bike, you're like, oh, well, I can go this way, and it will end up over here. And I think that started years ago by former mayor. Well, never mind. I don't want to say. I may be the incorrect person, but it started 20, 25, 30 years ago with the vision from certain individuals. But I will say in my district, which it's a city, it's a park, Murfreesboro Parks and Recs project. They're developing on Veterans Parkway. It's called the new Veterans Park. It's going to be on 50 acres or so, and it's going to have some greenway space. It's going to have a pavilion. It's going to be really nice. They just
ton of pickleball. Yeah.
They just started clearing out the land and doing all the infrastructure things that they need about a month or so ago. So if you're on Veterans Parkway, it's right before you get on 840. It's on the right hand side. That's going to be a nice, very nice park. Now I know a lot of people, some people are disappointed that it's not going to have ball fields that they projected years ago, but from my understanding, whenever the city of Murfreesboro decides to go that route, they'll have some ball fields still down the street in that area in a different location. But for that area, they just want to kind of concentrate on. It's supposed to have a destination playground, which means it's going to be like one of the biggest and best playgrounds in Middle Tennessee. So it's going to be a lot of things for all families of all sizes. That can enjoy, that park. So I'm excited for it. It's in my area.
So you look at the next part of it, and you said you're part of the health care. How does our county commissioners are involved at the health care of our citizens?
Gotcha. Again, I serve on Health and Education Committee. So the State Department, every month comes and gives us a report. The state health department director, she provides us with a report on the state of our county. Whether I think we have a satellite office in Smyrna as well, but the main one is here in Murfreesboro. And so she provides us a report on flu, COVID, trendy things and like that. So, and then we're allowed, we ask questions. And, for me, being in healthcare, I kind of see the trends or diseases or viruses that may be coming down the pipe, and I usually try to ask, hey, what are those numbers? We had the measles outbreak, so that's kind of all of a sudden you don't hear anything. For a moment you was hearing that, and so there was speculation that the one that was here in Middle Tennessee was here in Rutherford County, but we try to keep an eye on those type of things, so like STDs, things like that, people that comes in for a WIC or for families. So it's all kinds of data that we get, and we just want to try to make sure we stay on top of it, to make sure that everybody has a good quality of life and that's getting the things that they need. I think they have a community baby shower that's coming up that they have every year over, I think, at Patterson Park, and they try to help those within the community that needs it.
So again, there's so many ways you can also get involved. What he's really saying to us here is Patterson Park has been the hub to help a lot of children and families that are underserved and have some needs that need to be met. I'm sure you can call Patterson Park, see what kind of baby or
the health department,
or health department, to find out what needs are not being met so far, so that we can help some young families get on their feet. I think the most fascinating one is, for me, is the whole trash issue. Kind of give me your take of what the problem is and what are a couple solutions for us that are financially feasible.
So I will say, so at the county level, we it just opened this past summer. We approved and we built a $20 million waste transfer station, and so to try to help alleviate the trash issues that's going out, because there's been different projections on when it's going to close and when it's not going to close. So what we want to do is all the trash that comes into this waste transfer station, it sits for 24 hours, 48 hours, or whatever, and it gets shipped out to somewhere else. So that's kind of that's why we built that, is to try to not put more into a landfill, and whether it's environmental issue things and things like that. It was a hot topic, but I think people have scaled back, and at the end of the day, I always say, let's bring everybody to the table. Let's see what type of solutions can be met, whether you disagree or agree with the company or whoever who runs it or operates it. Let's see how we can work for the betterment of all of Rutherford County, not just those out there in the Walter Hill area, but for the Blackman area or Laverne, things like that. And like I said, when I did my polling a few months ago, trash was probably fourth on the list out of 5 or 5. It just depends on where you live, but I guarantee if you polled those individuals out in Walter Hill, it'd be at the top of their list. But at the end of the day, we all work here, we live here. I personally want to see more recycling initiatives, and so we were just presented at our last county commission last Thursday night our recycling program that's hopefully that's coming online. So that's going to be something to see, and I feel like we should hopefully teach this to our children in schools, to say, hey, how can we make our place a better place for all of individuals? This is what you can recycle. This is what you can do, and at the end of the day, I think we'll be fine.
So when you look at it, is it a lot of government and private sector is what's going to come down the pike to make this thing work? And
I think it's a collaboration effort of, like I said, government and private sector individuals. Everybody has ideas on what should go there, when it should close, should we expand or not expand. There's data on this was leaked or this was not leaked. So again, for me, I'm a firm believer of let's bring everything to the table, whether it's government or private, because that's the beauty of America. there's some things that private can do that government is not good at, or vice versa. And so let's bring it all to the table and see what we can do, what's best for all.
So, end of the day, you think we've got a good handle on this, or do we have some work to do?
I think we're getting there. We've got some work to do, and I think our city leaders and our county leaders, I think we all see the need to address the situation, because the term, what they say, is being kicked. The can has been kicked down the road time and time again, and so I think now the time is to what can we do to address these issues in regards to the landfill. A lot of people don't realize, we're getting 18, 19 different cities or counties that brings in their trash here in Rutherford County, and so for me, it's like, okay, what do we do? You can't eliminate all of Nashville's trash, because that was always touting, but it's an issue that's complicated, but just like anything.
I mean, when it reaches capacity, the other counties are going to have problems too that they've got to solve.
Yeah, for sure. And and that's why I said recycling, because for me is okay, now we're shipping out our trash to somewhere else. What happens if they say, hey, boom, you can no longer bring your trash here, or so
it's a short-term fix for sure to me.
So it's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of individuals, but I think we've got some smart, common sense, level-headed people, whether it's the city and the county and private and things like that. I have confidence.
So when you're out looking to solve this solution, who in our state or in a neighboring state have found a healthy, viable, someone has, this isn't just a Middle Tennessee, Rutherford County issue. This is a issue that's going on across the country.
For sure. Well, I know they do a lot of work with TDEC here in the state, but there are other, I will say, some of our commissioners, and I'm pretty sure some of our city leaders as well, has explored or has visited other sites, whether it be here in the state or in other states. So they have, especially I know our solid waste department directors and things like that. So they have explored and looked at other options to see what other counties, cities, and states are doing, and I'm a firm believer in doing that as well. Let's see what's working. Let's collaborate and see what they're doing to try to see what we can do here as well. That's why I've always said that's why it's important for me to go to certain conferences and things like that, because you network and you build relationships with people from around the country, and once you do that, you can start following up what they do, what works best for them, because we don't always have the answers. Some people may think they do, but we don't. So,
well, I've always said you don't have to go recreate the wheel if somewhere else is working.
Right.
But there's got to be some kind of solution to this.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've heard one yet. And that's, again, what I think the frustration becomes, Ramel, to all of us, that, if your solid waste people are out looking, what have they brought back to the table that's feasible?
For sure.
And I still can't believe, and I don't know why, other counties are bringing in their trash and we're shipping ours out. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, and that's I guess what the contract that they allowed 30, 40 years ago when it was adopted, and so that crosses my mind all the time. It's like, why can't another county handle their own trash situation, their own landfill? Find some land to dump your own trash. But again, that's a little bit more complicated. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure we're doing what we can as Rutherford County to make sure that we're not going to get dumped on. Well, I shouldn't.
That's a great term.
No pun intended. Yeah.
Right.
If we're taking our trash to another county, so that's why I feel like recycling and it's a good thing. And there are regulations and stuff that needs to be implemented more stricter. So.
Well, again, it's one of those problems I know is not an easy one, but we've got to figure it out pretty quickly. To me, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's urgent, and so I'm optimistic that things will get done. It's when it's government, things move a little slower than it should, and it usually is. But I think.
Well, no, you said it best. You have 21 people sitting on a commission. There's now 20.
Right.
So, and you guys have had to appoint a new one.
Right. And it's important to also, not just us, our 21 commissioners, but it's important for us to have great working relationships with our city of Murfreesboro leaders, our city of Smyrna, city of Laverne, Rockville, Eagleville. So we have to build and have those relationships with them as well, because we're all in this together and not just.
Well, I think our state representatives too.
Absolutely, yeah. We do some.
And again, when you have 21 people with 21 backgrounds, and then you add into the other, now you're talking 50, 60 people
for sure
trying to get a collaborative answer to a difficult problem.
Absolutely. So that was a kind of a challenge, early on, but things have cooled down and I think, and we're working together with our state reps and the senators to try to come up with some solutions and things like that. That's why it's good to have good relationships with people within the governor's office and within TDEC. So I'm a relationship type of person, networking. So at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to is how can we get things done and working together.
So the other big one I want to bring up is you have over 2,000 people moving into our county a year or more. How are we going to provide affordable housing in our county?
Yeah.
And how do you work that out with the builders and developers?
Yeah.
There's another group.
That's a whole nother beast right there. Like you said, it's government officials working together with our local realtors and our developers to come up with the best solution for all of Rutherford County. The term is affordable. It has kind of I don't know the right term, but it's like what's affordable to certain families or individuals. That's how I should say it, because something that's affordable for me may not be affordable for someone who lives, I don't know, in a different area. So how do we keep building more apartments? Do we keep what type of single family homes do you build and things like that? And so it's been a challenge, but I think I actually think that the growth will slow down, but for right now, I think it's just we're continuing to.
You just said you were the fourth largest county, and I don't see that changing.
Yeah.
So we're behind Davidson County,
Knox County, and Shelby County out there in Memphis, and then we're in Rutherford County, and then Hamilton County. But every one of them are unique. I will say, like Hamilton County, they're really good on their tech, their broadband, Wi-Fi, and all that stuff. So we've got a lot of fires going. We're building a forensic center, waste transfer station. We're going to put a new ambulance bay out on the northern end. So we've got a lot of stuff that's going on right now.
With growth that comes with it.
Yeah.
In the territory.
Yeah. 6 new public health and safety buildings out in the different rural areas. That's been a blessing. We've had, and they've got storm shelters, so we're in Middle Tennessee, so tornadoes come through here, so a few of those have been used a couple times for tornado shelters for some of our residents, things like that. So
you've now decided to run.
Yes, sir.
And I can see that Brian's coming back in, so we're going to take a break and be right back and finish up.
Yes, sir.
For 75 years, Murfreesboro Medical Clinic has been a cornerstone of health and compassion in our community. From our humble beginnings to the advanced, comprehensive care we offer today, our commitment to you has never wavered. With 8 locations across Murfreesboro and Middle Tennessee and over 100 physicians, we continue to provide the highest standard of care. Then, now, and always, your health is our mission.
Get ready for an unforgettable night and support First Shot. Autumn at the Alley is coming to Oakland's Mansion Tuesday, September 24th from 6 to 9 p.m. Sip on fine bourbon, wine, and spirits, enjoy premium cigars, and feast on incredible food from the Alley on Main, all while enjoying live music under the stars. Proceeds benefit First Shot's Academic All-Stars and Send a Kid to Camp programs. Find out more on their Facebook page and through Eventbrite. Autumn at the Alley, September 24th.
Turn to Turner Security.
Hey, it's Brian, and we've relied on Turner Security for systems here at WGNS and Big GTV for many years. Their advanced security solutions with real-time monitoring and automation keep us safe. Plus, their expert IT service ensures our tech runs smoothly, from networks, computers, to troubleshooting. Their team tailors solutions to our needs, and I highly recommend them for home or business solutions for you.
Turn to Turner Security.
Farm Fresh Fridays and Tuesdays. Fresh eggs, homemade jams, locally raised meats.
And every vendor grows or raises it themselves.
7 a.m. to 1.
It's not just a market, it's the Middle Tennessee tradition.
Celebrating our 50th anniversary, the Farmers Market in Murfreesboro on John R. Rice Boulevard.
This is Chip Walters, and I'm honored to be your 2024 MTAR Realtor of the Year. I'm with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, and like many of you, I've seen the real estate market shift and change. People often ask, Chip, what's really going on? Well, that's a great question, and I believe in answering with solid, factual data. So let's cut through some of the noise. I invite you to reach out. Let's have a conversation about your real estate goals and the current market trends in your neighborhood. You can find all my contact information at choosechip.net.
Now you can watch some of your favorite radio shows. Try Big G TV. Subscribe for free on YouTube at News Radio WGNS and WGNS Radio on Facebook and X. Local content that matters to Rutherford County.
At the Garden Patch Thrift Shop on Spring Street, we believe in more than just great deals. Every purchase you make helps Greenhouse Ministry serve over 70 families a day, offering hope and changing lives in our community. From name brand clothing to household items or even large appliances, you'll find everything you need at prices that will fit your budget. Plus, 100% of the proceeds go back to the ministry. Visit the Garden Patch Thrift Shop today across from the tall NHC building in downtown Murfreesboro, where shopping changes lives.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Welcome back into WGNS and the Roundtable. I'm Andy Herzer, Executive Director, founder of First Shot. Going to finish up. We only got a couple minutes. Tell us your vision and why you want to run again for a second term.
Yes, sir. So I am planning to run for a second term next year, next spring. I believe there's still much more work to do in regards to health and education. I serve on the Public Safety Committee. That's a whole nother topic. I was just elected as vice chair of Public Safety Committee last month, so that's a huge honor that my colleagues on the committee elected me to do. I took over from Michael Rather, who resigned.
Well, I mean, it's the other part of it. Our sheriff's department, right? Our ambulances,
absolutely,
first responders,
absolutely.
Again, and the funding for them, huge piece of in the wheel. And so, once again, why an independent versus a Republican or Democrat? Tell your constituents out there why.
Gotcha. Hey, again, for me, like I stated earlier in the show, our roads, our schools, our first responders, none of them, they don't have labels on any of that, and I just feel like, that's why I'm running as an independent, just to let people know that I'm here regardless of who you regardless of who you are, as a Republican or Democrat, rich, poor, I'm here to serve you. I'm here to be your voice. I hope I've done a pretty good job over the past 3 years. I've been accessible. It's just funny, like I meet people almost every week that's like, I remember you. You came and door knocked. I door knocked on thousands of doors when I ran years ago, and so it's been a blessing. At the end of the day, I work here, live here, play here, along with my family, my friends, and I want to make sure that Rutherford County continues to in the things we do. Just buckle your seatbelts. We got a lot more coming down.
Well, if anybody really knows him, he's first and foremost a great father, and I've gotten to see that firsthand. And it's amazing to see how much you care for all our citizens, not just only district. As I've heard your passion is, we have to worry about the people in Laverne and Smyrna and Eagleville and Rockville. We have so many different areas, and they're all different and unique.
Absolutely.
And they all have different and unique problems.
Yeah.
Again, I appreciate your heart. I appreciate how much you give. I see you out everywhere.
Yeah.
and you guys, there's the thing. You have a transparent, accessible young man that wants to serve in our county. So get to know him. Get to know who you're voting for and why you're voting this coming year, because it is important to the future of our nates of the world, our young children.
Absolutely.
Again, I want to thank you for coming on the show and being a part of it.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for all that you do within our community as well. That First Shot is an organization that we're very proud of and support, and we love you guys and all that you do. So I'm glad it's an indoor sport. So.
Yeah, me too, because I hate this heat. But again, I want to thank you for being on the show.
Yes, sir.
I'm Andy Herzer, founder, executive director of First Shot. I'll see you back here next Monday.
Subscribe to Big G TV, local content that matters to Rutherford County.